Hello, welcome to Inside the Summit League. We are in Nebraska City, Nebraska this week, just south of Omaha for the Summit League Women's Golf Championship. This is Arbor Links Golf Club. It's a private course designed by Arnold Palmer, opened back in 2002, 15 years ago. They hosted a U.S. Open qualifier here last year, and this is the second year now that they have hosted the Summit League Women's Tournament. It's a gorgeous, challenging layout, and the players and coaches very happy to get to play it this week.
Yeah, I love it. Obviously, I have good memories from here, from last year, but yeah, it sets up really well for me and our team.
I like that it rewards aggressive play. I think we're a pretty long hitting team, and when we play aggressive and we're feeling confident with our putting, you can go low. But I think that's what it rewards. It rewards you playing aggressively, especially when the wind's down like it will be tomorrow. So if you can try and really think to birdie, that you can birdie every hole, or the team can birdie every hole, you can take advantage of the par fives and you can hit it close on the par threes, then you will go low. I think it definitely will reward you if you do that.
I feel like the golf course is in really good shape. I like the design of the golf course. It's challenging, it's tough golf course, it's good. The disadvantages is that the weather doesn't stay or isn't as nice as we would wish, but let's go.
This place is unbelievable and the town is unbelievable. What they do, I'm involved with the NCAA committee and run the NCAA tournaments, and we don't have the volunteer force they have, and they have walking scores for each group. They have 9 rules officials for a 45-person tournament. Absolutely amazing. And then on top of it, the course is incredible, and the people in the town are great, and Chamber of Commerce gave gift bags to everybody. They don't get treated like this at hardly any tournament, so yeah, we're really happy to be here.
It's out in the middle of nowhere, so the wind can be challenging, but we're used to that in South Dakota. So, but like I said, this course has always been in great shape, and it is again this year. So.
Well, the Arbor Links name a tribute to the trees, and it's also a tribute to the fact that Arbor Day in America originated here in Nebraska City 145 years ago. Arbor Day, if you are not totally in touch with your natural roots right now, it is the tree planters holiday that's celebrated around the world, and it is in fact coming up this Friday on April 28th. Well, besides the trees, the other natural element that showed up strong during the women's golf tournament this week was the wind. It was a huge factor in the second and third rounds. And up next, we'll take a look at how the players handled the cool and gusty conditions and how the tournament came down to a great team race between Denver and South Dakota State.
Inside the Summit League on Midco Sports Network is presented by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, Dakota Land Honda, South Dakota Corn, and Grand Falls Casino and Golf Resort.
Welcome back. We are at the Summit League Women's Golf Tournament in Nebraska City, Nebraska. And it was brutal here. The conditions in the second round on Monday, it was crazy. 45-mile-an-hour winds and hard to keep your hat on, let alone sink a 4-foot putt that's wobbling around on the green. And the players kind of had to grind their way through the conditions, but it showed up on the scorecards in round 2. South Dakota State senior Megan Mingo and Denver senior Jess Carty both made 6 birdies in the opening round on Sunday, but both battled the conditions in round 2 on Monday, both with 3-putt pars on the par 5 10th hole, and both of the first-round leaders grind their way to 8 over par 80s on Monday. Carty, the defending individual champion, actually just won over on the back 9 to stay in contention.
No, obviously I didn't get off to a great start. I was 7 over through the turn, but I know you just have to stay patient when it's this windy. The wind really picked up on the back 9 as well, so just trying to keep the ball under control and keep it in the short grass. But I was happy with how I grinded on the back 9, and I think I was 1 over the last 9 holes, which is pretty good out there, so got to take the positives.
Well, Mingo and Carty both birdie the first hole of the day, but both struggle a bit after that. Mingo goes 3 over on the last 3 holes, but does hang on to the 3-shot lead that she had built in round 1.
The last 9 I probably wasn't the happiest about. The last few holes were kind of a struggle, but overall I think it was okay.
Well, this is how windy it was. IUPUI's Aneta Abrahamova ready to putt when her golf ball gets blown forward a couple of inches. So she's got to step back, regroup, And then she rolls home a 15-footer for birdie on her way to a 78 on the day.
It was crazy windy today. I didn't expect that, but there were some holes when you had to go and step out and do your routine again and then hit your ball because the gas would get sometimes really strong, so it's even hard to stand sometimes.
Well, South Dakota State and Denver were separated by just a few shots in the team competition for the entire second round. Jackrabbit freshman Sydney Borman with birdies at 10 and 11. Borman shoots 79. And Denver sophomore Sophie Newlove matches that. Newlove with a great putt for birdie at the par 3 14th. The best round of the day was a 2-over par 74 by North Dakota State's Natalie Roth. But most everybody agreed by the end of the day, the weather was probably the winner in round 2.
Back home where I'm from, when it gets this windy on links courses, the rough isn't really up and as thick as this, so just keeping it on the short grass is key, and it's hard to do when the wind's swirling around like this.
You just really got to stay calm. With me, because I have quite a fast swing, it's just to keep it a little bit slower. Because if you go quick, then your hips go and the balloon's in the air. So it was just keeping your head cool, try and run in the putts, get a good line, get good targets, and just swing smooth.
I knew that today the scores aren't going to be quite as great as maybe they would be without the wind, so I just tried to hit many greens, maybe make some putts, and still trying to stay in the field.
It especially affects putting, and we didn't do a very good job putting today, but yeah, it makes you uncomfortable. You really got to focus on just kind of believing and trusting in your line you pick, and you go with it and try to commit to it, you know.
I mean, 3-footers it affected up to. I mean, the long putts, they all were going different directions.
Especially on the short putts, I felt on the 6-foot putts where you'd think there was a break, but then the wind would change that. So it was difficult, but you gotta open your stance and get down low and try and keep a good roll.
We shot, I think, 3 79s and an 80, and we've played in conditions like this before, and unfortunately didn't have the same results today. But I think there's a lot of maintenance that we need to do before we head in tomorrow. Most of it was with our putting, to be honest. We hit the ball pretty well, but we struggled on the putting greens today. So I don't think we're happy, and I think that we know that we have some low scores in us.
We had a good day. We let a few things slip away that we could do, but we did a lot of things really, really well, and we hung in there, and that's the biggest thing. It's a grind. You got to be ready to grind, and the par today probably is more like a 77 or 76, and so that makes you uncomfortable. We had a lot of people. Sydney Borman, a freshman, was 4 over after 4, I think, and finished 7 over. That was unbelievable.
It was quite the grind, but overall, I mean, all the scores are high today, so I mean, we hung in there and are sitting good for the last round.
So at the end of round 2 on day 2, South Dakota State holding a 2-shot lead over defending champion Denver, and those two teams 21 shots ahead of the rest of the field. Individually, South Dakota State's Megan Mingo hanging on to a 3-shot lead. Jess Carty of Denver and Teresa Toscano of South Dakota State tied for second. North Dakota State's Natalie Roth had the best round in the wind on Monday with a 2-over par 74. Roth and 2 others just 4 shots back going into the final round. And it was cold and windy for that final round on Tuesday. We will see how it all plays out when we come back on Inside the Summit League. Welcome back to Nebraska City, Nebraska, and the Summit League Women's Golf Championships. And South Dakota State with a 2-shot lead on Denver in the team race going into the final round. And a little bit of drama as well in the individual competition, as there were 6 players within 4 shots of the lead going into the final 18 holes. Well, it was colder on Tuesday, around 45 degrees, and the wind down a little bit, but still stiff and blowing from the opposite direction from the day before. So despite the less than ideal conditions, there were low scores and high drama in the final round. Denver senior Mario Brunn making a run. She is 1 under through the first 9 holes, and she moves temporarily into second place midway through the round. South Dakota State freshman Teresa Toscano, 2 birdies on the front side and a great second shot at the 9th. Toscano on her way to a top 5 finish. Megan Mingo maintains her lead with 2 birdies on the front 9, and she is in the lead by 5 shots at the turn.
I think sometimes that helps being in the team when it's close in the team, because you're more concerned about the team. You're not thinking probably about your own game as much. But Megan, she's played with big leads before and never really, that doesn't bother her much.
Well, Denver had trailed South Dakota State by 2 strokes going into the final round, but the Pioneers make that up on the first 9 holes. New Love and the Pioneers with a 3-shot lead going to the back 9. Jess Carty makes up a shot on Mingo at the 10th hole. Carty goes 2 under over the last 13 holes. North Dakota State's Natalie Roth playing in the last group, hanging right with the leaders. 2 birdies on the back 9 for her, and she closes with a 2 over par 74. Denver hangs on to a slim team lead over the last 5 holes. They get a big boost and a great round from Jessica Drace-Bambica. She makes 3 birdies on the front and ties low round of the day with a 72. Denver's Sophie Newlove makes birdie at the 16th, and Denver is on its way to a 4th straight team title. Mingo makes a sand save birdie at 16, closes with a final round 73, and Megan Mingo becomes South Dakota State's first Summit League women's golf champion.
Birdieing the first hole was good, and then a few pars after that, and to end it off, I got a birdie on 16, and unfortunately bogeyed the last hole, but ended up with a 73, so I was happy with that.
I'm really proud of Megan. She got better and better each year in our program, and closing out her senior last tournament, winning the conference. Can't go out much better than that.
Are you just wiped out, or what's the feeling there?
Sad. I mean, it's done, so yeah, I'm kind of sad about it, obviously, but proud of my team, and I've had the best teammates all 4 years, so it's been great.
Well, Mingo finishes 6 over for the 3 rounds, 2 shots ahead of Jess Carty, and then Roth and Brun and Toscano all tied in the top 5. And then Denver with the next 3 scores on the board, and that is why the Pioneers earned the team title for the 4th year in a row, and this is 14 in a row going back to their time in the WAC and the Sun Belt Conference. This is the closest the team competition has been in the last 4 years, but Denver does it again.
We kind of came out ready to go. We knew what we had to do, and we knew the wind was going to kind of change. And we were here about a month ago and practiced in that same wind, so we were pretty confident. But yeah, I'm really proud of everyone for stepping up today and just getting the job done. It's not easy coming from 3 shots back, so pretty happy with how we finished.
I think we have a really good relationship, all of us. We're all really close, and I think all of us boost each other up and pump each other up, and I think we did that last night and this morning, and we're all ready to go.
Hats off to South Dakota State. They've improved so much really in the last couple of years, and that's all on Casey. But they were just a very competitive team, and I knew kind of all year I'd been following them. I knew that it was going to be tough. I knew that they had a couple good freshmen, and we'd have to play pretty well to win. But yeah, hats off to South Dakota State and giving us a run. It was an exciting final round.
Well, up next, we will walk along with one head coach as his team is in contention right down to the final green. Some words of wisdom and worry and encouragement in the heat of the competition. Welcome back. Women's golf became a Summit League sport in 1998, and Oral Roberts won the first 15 championships in women's golf. North Dakota State finally broke through and won the team title in 2013, and Denver had won the last 3 in a row going into this year. Meanwhile, South Dakota State had never won a team championship, but the Jackrabbits won 5 tournaments this season, and they had really their best squad and their best shot to win the Summit League championship. We tagged along with Jackrabbit head coach Casey Van Dam as his team came down the stretch in this competition.
What are you thinking? Good shot, Megan. Awesome shot. Way to go. Good one. I see it just inside that ball marker and firm. See the old ball mark. Is that what you got? Yeah. I said everybody that was short, they tried laying it up there and chipping it. You can't chip it close. What do you got her doing? Maybe normally, but with this wind, I wouldn't go outside that. See, that stayed pretty level too. You got it. Good putt, Megan. Way to go. You go help Megan out this tee. She just birdied last one. It's a hybrid. Because Tracy hit hybrid right here. And he's hit her 3-wood. It's a hybrid. It's a 3-wood.
I don't know what, I'm just going up there. He said, you tell her. I go, it's over, she's hitting. This one is that back right one that it looks like you want to go right because it'll come down, but you actually want to be right at it, or even a little left and short of it, because it's really hard putt from short right. And if you go at it, it's probably going long, you know, or if you land on top of the hill right. I wish you'd just throw that. That was for par, yeah. She 3-putted. Just chuck it. Dust on top of injury. Get up a little bit. Good shot. Benefits of hitting it chunky, they roll. Good way to take speed off. I heard Sydney hit it close. Haley's got a 10-footer. All right. What are you seeing? Yeah, that's, when I first walked up, that was the first thing I saw. I think that's good. I think if you're gonna do it, go over at almost at Haley's bag too, because it's gonna go right from the slide a little bit. Get left. Good shot. Ooh. Go, 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 go. Little grassy. Confident stroke. Good playing. I know it's not the finish you wanted. Good playing. Good job. Just for future reference though, we figured it out. Uphill is slower. Get up. That's all right. Nice. Good chip, Megan. What a chip. Let's go. One more time. Then you never have to read them to me.
Up next, coming down to it, end of the regular season in Summit League softball. Western Illinois trying to hold on and hold off North Dakota State.
Inside the Summit League on Midco Sports Network is presented by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, Dakota Land Honda, South Dakota Corn, and Grand Falls Casino and Golf Resort.
Welcome back now to some baseball and softball this week. Oral Roberts dropped the game at South Dakota State, but ORU still a pretty hefty lead in the baseball standings with 12 games to play. Much closer, though, in softball as we come down to the final weeks of the regular season. Western Illinois trying to hang on to the top spot right now. Western Illinois did beat North Dakota State 1-0 in Game 1 of this series on Saturday, but the Bison come back big in Game 2. Bree Beatty with a double off the wall. Drives in 2, North Dakota State out to a 3-0 lead. And it was a big day for the Beatties. Rachel Beatty for Western Illinois. Solo homer in the bottom of the first for the Leathernecks. Go to the top of the third. Tabby Hines gets all of that. 3-run shot, and the Bison up 6-1. And then back to Bree Beatty, another double in the fourth. Drives in Vanessa Anderson. Beatty with 3 hits and 4 RSBI. North Dakota State evens the series with an 11-3 win. And they take the series on Sunday. Haley Duwa, however, with a 2-run homer to put Western Illinois in the lead 2-0 after 2 innings. And then some Western Illinois defense. Taylor Messer behind the plate. Perfect throw to get Madison Camacho at second. But Camacho with some payback. Top of the 7th. Western leading 4-2. Camacho with a single over shortstop. Danny Renner and Montana DeCamp both score. Game tied 4-4. And then go to the 8th. DeCamp hits it where they ain't. Bree Beatty coming around with a winning run. NDSU wins 5-4. So the Bison are 7-5 in the league. Western Illinois is 10-5, and the Leathernecks are the first team to secure a spot in the Summit League postseason tournament. And in baseball, league leader Oral Roberts at South Dakota State over the weekend. The Jacks get a win in Game 2 on Saturday. Ethan Kenkel with the start for SDSU. 5 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run. Derek Feige comes on, goes 3 innings, gives up no runs. He gets the win, and the Jacks win Game 2 5-2. Just the second league loss for Oral Roberts. But the Golden Eagles rally with the long ball in Game 3. Noah Cummings with a 3-run homer. He leads the league right now with 11 dingers. And then Trevor McCutcheon with a grand slam for Oral Roberts. ORU with 4 homers in the game. They have 24 home runs on the season in Summit League games. That is 15 more than anybody else. ORU takes 2 out of 3 in Brookings. The Eagles are 16-2 in league play. South Dakota State is 9-9. Well, that is it from the Women's Golf Championship here in Nebraska City, Nebraska. Congratulations to Denver on its 4th straight Summit League Women's Golf Championship. 2 more championships coming up this weekend. Men's and women's tennis will be playing in Indianapolis, hosted by IUPUI. And then the Men's Golf Championship starts this Sunday, runs through next Tuesday, and they're playing that at Sand Creek Station in Newton, Kansas. We'll check it out next week on Inside the Summit League.